And the Broncos will run left to right. Jared Maxwell and Adam Devcich are the referees. And the ball going down towards the southern end of the ground. And it's brought back by Melbourne. They're 15 metres out from their own line. And you heard the call from the referee, get off his arm, leave him alone. It was Brian Norrie's carry, the first of the game. We're out on the 20-metre line then, and Bromwich with a heavy bandage on his left elbow. And now it's come away with Ryan Hoffman, the number 12. One of the 4 Stormers that are left from that 2006 grand final. Here's the ball with Junior Sau now. And he's taken to ground by Matt Gillette, and the ball is played, and it's gone away, and it's finished up now with the lock forward Hinchcliffe. Fanua playing on this left side wing. Smith a dummy half. And to the boot of Cronk at the end of their 6. And they've gone rolling down. Friendly, in fact, to Hoffman. And now for Norman, who is signed to play with Parramatta. VB Friday Night Football, live and exclusive on 9 on the wide world of sports. As Hoffman it is that takes it back into the centre of the ground, and there's a penalty. Devcich has found a hand on the ball. Steamy night in Brisbane. Brian Norrie, the offender, on camera. Very humid. As Norman finds the line in front of the eastern side crowd. So McCulloch and Parker combine to take it to the halfway. Holden Cup Broncos went down to the Storm by 4. Holden Cup going to the Storm by 4. Ben Hannett up the middle for the Broncos. 35 metres out from the line. To McCulloch again, and he goes short to Fide, and Fide gets inside the 20 with good metres. Really stretched Slater and Hinchcliffe. Now Parker tries to capitalise. 3 metres out. Down at the Milton Road end of the ground. Played by Corey Parker. It's gone away from Wallace. And backing into the defence is Alex Glenn. Played close to the line. McCulloch dabs one in. Oh, air swing there. Out to the 20, said the referee, Jared Maxwell. Bronco in vain, diving late. But Melbourne now with Fanua. Good bust made by Fide. Good. So this is Duffy, the winger. Wait in the centre, wait in the centre. Go now. Playing it for Cameron to go to Widdop. And he's taken down and held by Scott Prince, and a penalty. And the hand on the ball, I take it, from Prince. It's a look of inquiry from him. Referee reassuring the defence side to hold their 10. So they take the free kick on the 40-metre line, and Hoffman, who has the uncanny knack of being the first try scorer for Melbourne. So Smith has got men running decoys as he goes away to Bromwich. And young Jesse will play the ball. 30 metres out, and on the attack, down at the Caxton Street end, Slater on to Junior Sau. Here's a problem for Broncos. Junior Sau looks like he might have rolled over and put the ball down on the ground. What's the referee going to say here?
Well, he has said no try, and they're looking at a double movement. A wonderfully executed play here by the Melbourne Storm. So precise, so clinical. Did they prize open the Bronco defence? But at the last bit, as Sau lunges at the line, he's down and then rolls over. Well, he would have rolled to Brisbane Airport if he wanted to. I think he just ended up in the end goal and then just put it down. I know he comes down short, but he kept rolling and kept rolling. If he wanted to, he could have gone further than that. I think that's normal momentum. I'd give him a try.
So it is a try. First points go to Melbourne.
stand 1 on the 10.
Yeah, okay. Just get Andrew McCulloch.
So it would seem, looking at this afternoon's crowd and the crowd here tonight, that Good Friday is a popular day for rugby league and sport in general. So Junior Sau, he was always confident that it was a try. The only one that was the doubting Thomas in all of this was Jared Maxwell.
Yeah, and you can see why he sent it for inquiry, but there was no doubt there. The big fella had momentum up and he could have rolled easily further into the in goal. But as I said, beautifully executed by the Melbourne Storm. We'll give you a replay of the high shot here to see how they went about this, but Ryan Hoffman did wonderfully. So too the fullback Billy Slater in that move to release Junior Sau into space.
Junior Sau now, is it?
Sutton.
Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton.
Okay. Here's Cameron now from the sideline. 23 metres out, that's what he's got. Quite acute, and he's pushed it very, very wide. So Melbourne lead Brisbane after 6 minutes by 4-0, having won the Holden Cup earlier.
Now Ryan Hoffman, as Ray Warren said, scores a lot of tries early in the games. Busty. Watch how he pulled up short of the line, releases it out the back to Slater, and all of a sudden he's in the hole. Wonderfully executed there. Really played on the Brisbane Broncos, overreading the situation.
Oh, the bounce is brilliant for Brisbane, but it's come down to a Melbourne Storm player.
Tackle 1, Van Hatten, let him go.
Well, you wouldn't have got a more favourable bounce had you ordered it from the heavens than the one Brisbane just got. But Will Chambers was the man that saved the day for Melbourne. This is Brian Norrie now, just grinding the ball up towards halfway. He knows his job. They all do, as Gus calls them, the foot soldiers. And here is Bromwich now, one of Norrie's partners in crime. He plays it back for Smith. Then Widdop goes long. Sau again. He's got this young debutant on him. And Sau got a ball away off his knees to Fanua. It's gone to the Brisbane Broncos, though. And just as well it did, because they were really under punishment. Well, last week they've aimed a couple of their attacks, Wally, at Kahu.
If it works once, why not try it again? That was the side that Canterbury Bulldogs tried to hammer Storm's defence last week. Their right side defence. Brisbane's getting a workout tonight. A wonderful start from Melbourne Storm. Great ball control.
That's Gillette on the ground. And here's Hannon winding it up and taking it down to the halfway line. And he's lost it.
Offline and all the way. Down the back, off on.
It looks like he suffered an injury, has he, in there at the same time? Taking a hell of a long time to get up. And clutching at a knee. No signs of, well, there's a trainer with him now.
He'll be right, yep. Young Jordan Kahu making his debut for the Broncos, the right centre, replacing Justin Hodges. He'll be sitting there at the moment thinking, gee whiz, they're coming after me.
Wait, Alex, wait.
But the Broncos know what they're doing.
Here's Slater running off an inside ball from Widdop. He's inside 20. He's deep in the backfield, and he plants the ball down. Slater scores for Melbourne. The worst possible start for Brisbane. And obviously,
and we have
the exact opposite for Melbourne.
I just want to look for an obstruction.
We've
from
got
the
Sam
scrum.
Thaiday running to the referee saying they were holding us in the scrum. They wouldn't release us from the scrum. What he's saying is that forwards didn't get out to cover this inside pass. It's a rather... Well, let's have a look here as the scrum packs down. Slater, a long ball to Widdop, and now they will try to pull the ball back inside. You can see the wrestling here going on there. Sam Thaiday was held up by a Melbourne Storm player. Now, had Sam Thaiday been able to release, I believe he might have got across there. It's a little bit of gamesmanship. Thaiday is already screaming at the referee, but it's the blindside prop here. Thaiday goes to go, but he's held on. You can just see that first moment was he's getting out to cover this inside pass here, but he's being held back into the scrum by his opposite number there. I'm not sure whether it's Bromwich or Norrie, but they've done a really good job to hold Thaiday back in. I don't think they're going to look at it again. But a little bit of gamesmanship here they've got away with.
Well, they've dismissed the inquiry. They've dismissed the protest from Sam Thaiday fairly quickly. It's 8-0 in favour of Melbourne in as many minutes.
I can't chase him.
Sam,
What?
Sam, we've seen that as part of the scrum. That's
So
and
him
that's
holding
what
my shirt, so we can hold. If I'm
Sam?
playing the ball now, I can hold someone's shirt. Is that right?
Sam, one.
telling you-
Sam, listen real closely. One, you don't do that. And number two, we've adjudicated that that's part of the scrum. That's the end of the story.
Well, he's not too happy, Sam Thaiday, and it was half a dozen or 1-6 of the other there. There could have been a possible penalty, although the referee made the decision that it was just a player holding on in the scrum. Thaiday complained immediately, but that is perfect positional play. The angle of their running so far early in this game has been absolutely first class to Melbourne Storm. But I think Sammy's probably got a little bit of a right to complain there, although I don't think he was going to have the pace to be able to get across and stop Billy Slater running into open spaces.
Now, I was talking to Ray Warren about this coming up. As we were talking about different things with obstruction and protests by players that they've been held back or knocked over. In racing parlance, the stewards there said, yes, there may have been interference, but not enough to change the result. And that's why they've awarded the try. Cameron Smith from out wide again.
So from 21 metres out, and again he's wide. So 2 unconverted tries to Melbourne at the 4th minute for Junior Sau and at the 8th minute for Billy Slater. Cameron, he can have an off night. He can have an off night. Not many, but I remember seeing him chastising himself vigorously last year, at least on one occasion. Here's Norrie inside the 10-metre line, and now for Harris.
It's a wonderful weapon they've got, this Billy Slater at the back, isn't it? I mean, they just ignite him. It looks like he's fired out of a cannon at times. Speed. You love speed.
So from Widdop, it's gone through to Hoffman, and Hoffman will play the ball just outside the 30-metre line. Cameron Smith goes for a dummy half run. He pinches about 12 metres. Thought about giving it to Hinchcliffe, took the tackle, and now Cronk just kicks it 1.5 metres off the ground, and it goes bobbling down there towards Hoffman. Wallace to another redhead, Jack Reed. So Brisbane already in a lot of trouble. It looks like the other winger has gone across there, Lachlan Maranta. And here's Hannett now.
Well, it's a mental challenge for the Broncos, isn't it? They didn't score at all last week. They've been struggling to score points, and suddenly they're 2 tries down. It's only 8 points, not a lot in the modern game, but if your confidence is down, if your lack of self-belief is prevalent, then they can start to play tricks with the mind. They've really just got to settle down and do their stuff.
Here's Duffy, after Slater covered a lot of ground to field that deepish kick from Wallace. As the Holden stats, the Storm have been first try scorers in their last 9 NRL games. Given the record they boast, that doesn't come as a great surprise. But they've taken leads into halftime on so many occasions. Corey Parker's offside, you heard the call. And this is Will Chambers over there. And then from Harris to Cronk, and Cronk to Hinchcliffe, and Hinchcliffe is down on the 30-metre line, Brisbane's end of the ground. Cronk kicking back to the centre. Slater will be in pursuit of this, and up they go. Slater's on the ground, and it's a penalty going to Melbourne. Interfered with Slater, not in possession, impeded.
Going nowhere in a hurry, just...
And I think it's a silly one, because I don't think he was going to get to the ball in time.
Okay, hang on, wait.
He was threatening to make a leap, but he was still a long way away, and he's really taken out. Cameron Smith looks as though he's going to tap this and play on. Cooper's telling them what he wants. And as we know, what Cooper wants, Cooper gets.
Here's Norrie. Smith then. Long to Cronk, and Cronk goes out to Widdop. And Widdop is held by Scott Prince over on this fragile side. South. Cronk short to Hinchcliffe, and Hinchcliffe off his right foot attracts Thaiday and Hannon. Smith again, going to his number 7, and then to Junior Sow, and he's pulled down. 3 Broncos combining to pull him down, but they're close to the line, Melbourne, looking for number 3, and here's Big Bromwich, and he tries to get a ball away and then thinks better of it. Plays it back to Smith, puts a little dab in. Slater puts a hand on it. Slater's sure that he's got number 2. The referee thinks it's a try, but he wants it inspected.
And this is speed again, not the long-term long-term speed that we usually see from Billy Slater, but the explosive speed to get in behind line. Look, Cameron Smith will kick for him. Whoosh, into the hole he goes. Anybody's ball, but he'll get there first. Explosive. You know, just looking at the put down, in they go. He's hands on it. Beautifully executed. Smith to Slater. We've seen it plenty of times before. There it is. Try number 3. We'll go back and look at the tighter one here. Pretty certain that Slater's hand gets on this ball and we get some grounding right there. That'll be a try.
There would seem to be some impart of downward pressure at the same time. So it's a try, and Brisbane put their 3rd try on the board. I said Brisbane, I meant Melbourne.
Yeah, mate, I'm good. I'm good. Yep, sorry.
Yes, Melbourne with their 3rd try on the board. And Cameron Smith yet to add the extras. 3rd kick at goal, and this one proves decisive. So 14-0 after 16 minutes, and Melbourne having a picnic.
It's an absolute pleasure to watch. Let's have a look here. Slater being taken out there. There's your penalty. I don't think it was needed. I don't think Slater was going to get the ball, but there's just something hypnotic about watching the clinical nature of this Melbourne Storm play. They are constantly at you. It must be terrifying for opposition coaches and teams when this onslaught comes at you.
Here's Harris. Brian Norrie.
Tackle now. Right side, I want you to hold.
The production line continues at Melbourne. And here's Cameron Smith making a break. Support inside, outside. Widdop goes to middle ground. Cronk is there. Picked up in cover. Ball went back. Picked up by Smith now. And it's play on for Melbourne.
Right, Jackers, get on the line. Get on the line. Hold. Go.
Widdop. Cronk. Sow on his inside.
Bottom last. Sound side. Go.
So Junior Sow to Widdop. And it'll come to the 20 for the restart with Josh Hoffman.
He's running.
They talk about Josh Hoffman. He was the man that came from the far wing to be able to cut that move down. But gee, Melbourne Storm's attack at the moment is absolutely first class. The Broncos are probably saying, well, providing time and space for them, but the way that the Storm are attacking at the moment, it's almost impossible to deny them the opportunity.
Surrender.
Miranda.
Surrender tackle. Okay, up now.
McCulloch decides to dummy to Ben Hannant and sneak through the tackle, but he can't with Hoffman on top of him. Wallace then spinning it into Glenn. A few metres on the Melbourne side of halfway. Parker. Hinchcliffe, the main tackler. Norrie just getting in front of what could have been termed a flop. Prince, though, dropping it down, and Slater is tackled. In goal, line drop out. Good chase there by the rookie in the centres.
Nicely placed there by Scotty Prince. Comes down a yard out from the try line, so Slater has to run the ball here, and the chase was really good. It was young Jordan Kahu, wasn't it, that got through there?
Yes, it was. Young New Zealander. 22 years of age. He played some Toyota Cup for Brisbane in 10 and 11. He was the Peter Sterling medal winner in 2009. So Friday, good long run of 20 metres before the Melbourne defence was confrontational. Now Hannant. And McCulloch gives it on to Parker. Parker still going in a forward direction, though reversing. And now it's come away for Friday, and he's close. Back on their line, Melbourne. Now Prince on his left foot, twice, 3 times. Last tackle. Long to Wallace, and he puts a kick in, but it didn't problem Melbourne at all, and Smith is with it.
Oh, Scotty Prince looked certain to score in that last move. Unfortunately, it was his own teammate that stopped him having the opportunity to cross the line. Ran into a Broncos teammate.
Tohu Harris before this man, Matt Duffy. Yeah, he ran into Corey Parker, actually. But you're right, his own man stopped him. Fanua. And Hinchcliffe bundled down, and Parker clutching at his left knee. It's Cronk. Puts a kick down, but it went straight to Norman, who's back on his own 10. He's out to his 30. Corey Parker getting some attention in back play as Jack Reed is brought down on the 40-metre line. Now for Glenn. Hannant. Culloch short to Prince, and then inside ball that went forward, and a scrum will pack just outside the Melbourne 30-metre line.
Yeah, the Brisbane Broncos there tried to do the Melbourne Storm play. We've seen Melbourne Storm execute this pretty well. Dummy half to first receiver. Pop it back on the inside, but they threw the forward pass. Here it is here. It'll go dummy half to Prince and look back inside for Hoffman. Out ball, in ball.
Wait here, boys. Wait here.
Not executed anywhere near well enough. Just created the forward pass. I wonder what the Bronco fans at home, who are Queensland fans, think about this. I mean, they're cheering for their Bronco team. They're getting belted, but it's being belted by other Queenslanders. Billy Slater and Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk. Are they cheering, or what are they doing?
This is Fanua. Taking McCulloch on head on. The 17 is out there for the Broncos, Scott Anderson. And Hoffman is held upright. So Melbourne going to Bromwich and behind Hinchcliffe and on to Cronk, and Cronk is met and pulled down by Glenn. This time for Widdop behind Harris, and Slater is in again, and that is Chambers. Inside the 20 again, and Harris to Smith, who puts a kick in that doesn't trouble Hoffman. It was one of the poorer endings that you'll see to a set in that compartment of the ground from Melbourne. This is Anderson. And Vave has gone on. Brian Norrie has come off. And this is the young fellow Kahu, who's in the team for Justin Hodges. Repeating, if you joined us a tad late, then Hodges not playing for Brisbane.
Right side.
Wallace. And here is Norman reeling, spinning and advancing. Wallace now to the air. And Duffy goes back. And it's going to be a line drop out for Melbourne. Duffy running away, a difficult way to catch it. He made the mistake that Brisbane were working for, and they will get the ball back.
Well, that's made the crowd happy. They haven't had much to cheer for here. And it's a big crowd in Brisbane tonight. I've said for some years now that Brisbane is the rugby league capital of the world. Interesting to get the final crowd figure here tonight. We had a massive crowd in Sydney today. 50,000 people turned up for the Bulldogs in South Sydney. Wonderful effort by the Sydney-siders. Brisbane have answered in kind tonight. I don't think it's 50,000 here. Some big Good Friday Easter crowds for our favourite sport.
Friday night. VB. Friday night football. Played by Anderson. And the Broncos, they know how important it is to be the next. McCulloch for Parker. And Parker puts a hand up in Hinchcliffe's face. But he's tackled by Harris and Slater. McCulloch then to Wallace. Wallace behind a decoy. Prince then goes back, picks up Gillette. Speculator out the back. Norman goes out. Here's Kahu, and he's tackled a metre from the line. Long ball away to Norman at first and Prince at second. And Prince fends from Harris, but Cronk is there to put him away. Fourth tackle gone then for Brisbane. Wallace to Glenn, and Melbourne jamming up in defence. Up and in from Chambers. And it's played inside the 10. And Wallace, pass, it was a bit ordinary. Back to Wallace and then battered down by Miranda. It comes down to Anderson. Big Scott Anderson. He can't get there. And that should be changeover, I think.
It's a changeover. And it's going to be right here.
Okay, got to hold it.
They've loved to score a try against Melbourne Storm.
With your foot.
Brisbane gaining a little bit of confidence in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They certainly need it on board. Melbourne Storm probably see they'll just get back to the game plan that they started with, making sure that they play it as deep inside the Broncos' territory as possible. They won't throw it around too much in this area of the football field, but once we get up to halfway, it'll be an attack fest.
Chambers.
On the ball. Hold.
Hinchcliffe. He's proving to be a very valuable piece of property for Melbourne, Hinchcliffe. He's got the ability, as you know, to deputise during origin time for Smith. And then, of course, he fills in very capably at the back of the scrum, which he's made his own really now with some departures. Talking of departures, this position for Brisbane, the number 1 position, it's almost like a comedy. Beale wanted 1. Couldn't get it, went to the Dragons. Norman wanted 6, and we could see he couldn't get it, so he's gone to Parramatta. As I said, it's comical in many ways. So the penalty has gone to Brisbane. He came up with the foot, the tackler.
Yeah, and I mean, we're on the outside looking in. For me, I thought Hoffman was making a really good fist to the number 1 at the Broncos, and I think that's his preferred position, but to get Scott Prince into the side, Norman lost his opportunity at 6, and to keep Norman in the side, Hoffman lost his opportunity at 1. And the Broncos are struggling to score points.
Anderson down the blind side for Matt Gillette. He runs away from a couple of ordinary attempts at tackle, and he'll play the ball outside the 20-metre line. McCulloch runs to it. Prince goes further. Wallace goes on. Out to Norman. Norman's got a chance to promote. He does. Hoffman scores, I think. try, the refs.
Well, everyone over in that corner is saying he's held up. He made one last lunge towards the goal line. He's muscled his way across the stripe there, but he's got to get the ball down. Let's have a look. Cronk over the top. Cronk, he's put it down on his leg. He's put it down on his leg. Can he get it to the ground? Oh, my God.
There'll be Broncos fans claiming, Gus, it touched a blade of grass on the way through. It didn't appear.
Oh, my God. What's this? It goes down on Will Chambers' leg. Bang. Now he's got to get it to the turf. There's legs and hands and feet and willpower, and the hands are now under it, and he's held up. He's held up.
Well, the thing is here, the referee...
Well, we're going to see it in normal speed because it was held up for a long time.
The referee has called it no try. These people upstairs have to be convinced that he's wrong.
Yeah.
And I think they're about to disagree with him.
Well,
so Josh Hoffman, I think, is about to get the green light. And he does. Brisbane have got a try. Reading the key indicators supplied to us by the referee's director, the people upstairs have to be conclusive in their belief that the man in the middle, the man with the whistle, is wrong.
You want to go?
Well, one thing that Josh Hoffman has done, he's brought the crowd, and it's a big crowd, he's brought them back into this game. The people upstairs, under the new rules, the way I read them, have to be conclusively sure that the man with the whistle was wrong in his assessment. Justin Hodges, and that's Jaral Yao-Yi sitting next to him, I think, in that long and torturous trail back to the field for Jaral. Wonderful talent, snapping that leg and just hanging in there, hoping and praying. But they obviously were conclusive that Hoffman got the ball down. Our pictures, I don't think, totally supported that. Prince then from out wide, and he gets it. Wally, the Broncos have got 6, but the way Melbourne have been playing, it won't be enough. What have they got to do? It's the main thing they have to do.
Well, I think they've got to keep their attack open. Obviously, structure it at the other end of the football field. Simply work to get out of there, make sure that they don't come up with any mistakes. But I think since they've been throwing the ball around, when they get to the attacking end of the field, I think they've regained their confidence and probably given Storm the impression that you're up against a tight fight tonight. We're going to give it to you. The more we run the ball wide and attack in the open spaces in the centres, I think they're a big chance if they continue it.
Here's Friday with a little juggle. He's 25 away from his own line. And this is really the style of football that Melbourne play. Just big, simple plays until we get it down there. And this is Alex Glenn now to the halfway line. 4 tackles gone. And a dummy from McCulloch. Vave didn't quite buy it, neither did Riles. And this is the last then for Prince. And he goes high down into the wing occupied by Fanua. And he stands his ground, and Miranda was with him and then fell off him. And he eventually was tackled by Kahu. Penalty goes Melbourne. Of course, on this side of the ground for Brisbane, Jordan Kahu coming in for Justin Hodges, and he's alongside Lachlan Miranda, so they really have got their 2 most inexperienced three-quarters playing alongside each other on their right edge. Sunday football, Panthers and Titans up at Centrebet Stadium, Penrith at 4 o'clock. Panthers up against the Titans. So John Cartwright goes home to take on his beloved Panthers on Sunday. Here's Slater. The Cartwright name has been linked to the Panthers for a long, long time. And a penalty goes against Brisbane for, let me call it, overindulgence in the tackle on Billy Slater.
Well, I think Scotty Prince is claiming that he wasn't moving. He knew Billy was hurt on the ground and he was asking him if he was okay. Just didn't get off with any speed. You can see there, he doesn't agree with the decision.
Slater grimaces. Of course, we're in slow-mo. Scott Prince. Now he's asking the question.
Oh, you're all right, yeah. See, and it's one of my beefs too with these penalties for slow play the ball. Sometimes the bloke with the ball's not even trying to get up. So why have you got to jump off him in a hurry?
Riles.
Tackle one.
Hinchcliffe trying to run over the top of Gillette. Second tackle of the set. And this is Hoffman driving with those legs to within a metre. The 19, the youngster involved in the defence. And through long Widdop and equally long to Cronk. They now isolate Hoffman, Duffy and Hoffman. That was a contest and Brisbane save it. Brisbane save it through Parker. But now there's a ball gone forward. So the referee is going to put a scrum down and give Brisbane the feed. As David Stagg and Ben Hunt get ready to come on for Brisbane.
Well, they've done well here, the Broncos. They've got to try to get themselves back into the game on the scoreboard, and it was imperative that they held the Melbourne Storm out there with a couple of penalties, marched them down the field into an attacking zone, and they've repelled them. Only just, but the 8-point margin is not insurmountable by any stretch if they can keep that sort of defence up.
Norman taken by Widdop.
Oh! Let him go, Gareth. They're good, the markers, they're good.
The markers are okay. Listen, anytime we so desire to just which way the referee is leaning and going. He might have had an inquiry about markers dividing. This is Friday. Here's David Stagg. And his effort ending on the 40-metre line on Melbourne's side. And Prince it is that chips it into the... Oh, it's hit the upright and come back. And Cronk so quickly away to Duffy. And he's taken by Reed and Glenn.
But it's a great set of six from the Broncos. Look at that. It started down on their own goal line with the scrum win. They give it back to the opposition a yard out from their line. Nothing wrong with that for a set of six. And a little bit of punch from their forwards there. A little bit of anger, a little bit of mongrel. It was nice to see.
Smith running away in the direction of forwards that were inside the 10 and staying out of the play. Kevin Proctor, you've got a shot of him about to come on. Here's Melbourne though, with Slater going on. Chambers is with it. Duffy is with him. Chambers turns to him, gives him the ball, and he goes over to score. Duffy. Touch judge is happy. Referee points to the spot. So Melbourne get a try 5 minutes out from the break.
The beauty of speed and the wonderful execution of Cooper Cronk, who, as we know, is meticulous in his practice, puts that on a dime for the man for the back, sends him into the backfield. The support players there, they do it nicely. Chambers doesn't panic. Away to Duffy in the corner. Wonderful, wonderful rugby league try.
So 18-6 is the score, and that was a try that Brisbane could ill afford. Slowly inching their way back into it, and their confidence would have been rising, and they could have talked about that at half-time, but now another try. So this young man, we've talked about him, he's quite an athlete, Matt Duffy, the track and field junior champion in New Zealand, and he was jogging outside Chambers, and I thought for a moment that Chambers might have just left it a bit late to give it to him, but he got it there eventually. And Duffy, who's very, very quick and very good in the air as well. That wasn't required of him, though, not on that occasion. Cameron Smith from the sideline. With just the one. And this one looks better. It looks better, and it is. So Melbourne lead Brisbane 20-6 with 3 to go.
Well, pinpoint accuracy is a wonderful part of Storm's game. Coming up with a chip kick just 30 metres out from their own line. Billy Slater got him 2 positions wider, so he knew he wasn't going to come up against any defenders once he chased through after the kick. And they had plenty of players in support there. Good timing in that end pass, but to be able to put a player like that on just 30 metres out from your own line, only the best do that.
Down on their own 20-metre line, and that is Varve.
It's a wonderful combination. I think they've been playing together since they were 15, those two boys, Cronk and Slater. They know each other's game so well, and to do that at that stage of the game just shows players with the mentality to execute under pressure, and they just see as a bit of a risky play. They just see as normal practice for them.
Harris. Smith it is who ducks out, and he's looking at that little gap that was there for a moment. It closed on him. Cronk then puts up a midfield bomb, and it goes up, and it might have come off the hands of Hinchcliffe and gone back. Duffy got the ball and put a kick on it, but he's put a kick on it all right. It's down and hitting the fence at the back, down at the Caxton Street end towards which they are running.
Take it when you're ready. Take it when you're ready.
Yeah, the Broncos didn't need that, did they? Not that there was any great defence to it.
One down right off the ball.
There was some spirited chase, and they were still coming as Duffy put it down in the corner. They didn't give up on the play, but just wonderfully played by the Melbourne Storm. And all of a sudden the gap is out to 14 again, 2 minutes out from the half-time break. I've liked a couple of the inroads that the Broncos have made around the ruck. They've come up with a spilt ball here, but some of their charges into the middle of the ruck have proved fruitful. The odd offload would be handy if they could get them away.
Stay in now, stay in.
They tend to go wide too quickly too often for mine rather than persevere with that little bit around the middle. I think if they persevered in that vein, maybe they could open up this Melbourne Storm forward pack, but
one more step
unless it's something they've practiced at training,
down we come.
Maybe it isn't in their makeup to do that just yet.
Haven't we a wonderful crop? I say it often, but it's so true. And it's just amazing the ability of the number ones in the game today. Slater, as you know, I'm an unabashed fan of his, but I think of Inglis and Barber and Stewart and goodness knows who else. It's just unbelievable. We are awash with number ones.
Well, it's hard to imagine the premiership winnings not having a great number one. It's just become that position in the game. It used to be the 7, and the 7 is still vitally important, don't get me wrong. But I think you'll find whoever wins this comp will have a great full.
There's Jason Riles. He's cut down 5 metres out from the line. We're in the last minute before the break. Smith puts a little kick in. Widdop's after it, but it's made dead by Brisbane. So they'll chew up the 40 seconds that they are allowed. And then we'll be going into Holden half-time when Phil and Wally will take us through the VB hard-earned first half highlights, and Darren Lockyer teaches us how to make the big play with the help of 9 Orbit. That'll be coming up for you in just a few seconds time on VB Friday Night Football here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. The dropout leaving. He's going to take a shot. No, he's shaped to take a shot. Then he stopped and checked himself. Hoffman went back, marked the ball. A ball that was kicked for duffing. Hoffman circles one. He's taken by Riles. And so that is the end of the first half. And Melbourne take us to the break. A 14-point leader over Brisbane. 20 points to 6. They've scored 4 tries, the Storm. The Broncos just the one. As we go to a break, we'll be back with the panel in just a moment. Yvonne Sampson is with Justin Hodges. I'll keep an eye on the play. Yvonne, it's over to you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm with Justin Hodges. Obviously a very difficult night for you. Even tougher for your last-minute replacement, Carr, who had 2 tries scored on top of him with Sal and Slater. What was the talk at half-time?
Yeah, no, we're just going to stay focused on the game. Obviously, we sort of fell apart there in the first 20 minutes, but they scored 3 tries off kicks and trick shots, so we've just got to control that and we should be fine.
Last-minute news on your hamstring injury. Will you be back against the Titans next week?
Yeah, I will be next week. I'll just pull up a little bit sore during the week, and no, we'll have the right to go next week.
All right, all the best.
Sam Friday it is that comes outside the 20-metre line. Thank you to Justin for making himself available there for that interview. And Brisbane on their first set. Alex Glenn just waiting for Will Chambers to disentangle himself, and now Brisbane get a penalty at the back end of a set.
I'd really like the Broncos to persevere with that, just working away around the play the ball area. Good support inside and outside the ball carrier. The odd little pass, the odd little inside pass, dummy, show and go yourself, and just try and put some constant pressure on these Melbourne Storm forwards. Then the game might loosen up for them.
Tackle 1. Hold 10. Hold.
Anderson this time. Friday. They keep working it through the middle. Varvey and Hinchcliffe the tacklers. And now from Hunt it's gone to Prince, had gone away, and it's a lofted ball out to Miranda. Miranda, does he? No, he does not. Short of the line.
Wow.
So swept away from out there. Kahu, and it's out in the middle of the ground with Scotty Prince now. Then Wallace, that pass is okay. It's gone to Jack Reed. He's got the winger unmarked, and Hoffman's got him second. Hoffman's got number 2 for Brisbane. They needed to be first in the second half, and they were.
Loving it. Yeah, sideline to sideline brilliance. A couple of really good charges in the middle of the field, and then all of a sudden from right-hand touchline to left-hand touchline, Crop coming across, last ditch defence. The Storm were there in both corners, but this time they're able to score the home side.
So Josh Hoffman getting his second of the night. Scott Prince then gets a chance to bring them back to an 8-point ball game. Comes in. 2 tries for the number 2. Josh Hoffman. His first try was allowed by the video referee, who was in disagreement with the main referee in charge at the time. So he might have been a little bit fortuitous with that, but not with that one. That was without question, as Brisbane floated the ball from one corner post to the other. Miranda held up over there and then right across the ground for Hoffman. So Prince from the western touch line. The ball is going to be okay. It's between the uprights. It's a converted try for Brisbane. They're now in arrears by 8.
And I bet the plans for this try would have came from basically last week's game that the Melbourne Storm played against the Bulldogs. On a number of occasions they found that whenever they shifted the ball wide to their left-hand side, which is of course the Storm's right side defence, they were able to get outside them. The outside players run in on an angle and make up opportunities out wide. I think it'll be the first of many times we see that tonight.
Peter Wallace taking it on the boot. And Anderson is tackled for Brisbane. Hunter's the new dummy half. And Friday
Tackle 2. Come on, Jason.
getting a penalty.
Well, that's nice. A little bit of momentum now for the home side. They've come out of the blocks in the second half. Regrouped at the half-time break with the coach. Another try now. And all of a sudden it's game back on.
Against the marker, by the way, for jamming up the man trying to play the ball. There's Gillette, rolled over in a three-man tackle and wrestled down to the ground. That's what Melbourne does so well. They command the ruck. They're slowing the play the ball down. Stagg it is, just outside the 20-metre line.
3 tackles.
So the holding statistics board of Broncos has scored, and you can see the 12 points per game this season. Here they go again, out to Hoffman's wing, inside ball, Jack Reed, Jack Reed, Jack Reed, I think he might. Well, I'm just watching Adam Dedsich. What's he think? What do you think? He thinks try. He's worried about grounding.
Well, Jack Reed's gone to the drink bottle. He's got no problem with it. Broncos are high-fiving. He's given his teammates a nod. Let's have a look. Slater over the top. Second effort. Bingo.
No problems with the Brisbane centre. It's a try for Brisbane. And the crowd right back in this game, along with the 17 representatives in the Broncos shirt. There's the hero of the moment, Jack Reed.
Well, we just mentioned it. Determination to attack Storm's right side defence. It appears to be under attack at the moment, and why shouldn't it be? Although when you get 3 defenders to the 1 ball carrier, you expect that you're going to be able to deny the opportunity. But Jack Reed just showing enormous potential and strength to be able to get the ball across the line. That's a wonderful opportunity. Rock around the legs, Slater over the top, trying to hold the ball back, unable to do so. That's a great try, boosting Brisbane's confidence.
5 test matches for England. Jack Reed scores for Brisbane, so they make it 4 points now, and Scott Prince can make it 2.
Yeah, it's a difficult kick out here. He's just kicked one from here. But some kicks have just got a momentum feel about them. If he can put this through the post, this place will erupt. The 2 points probably isn't that important, but it's the momentum of something good happening again on the back of these 2 tries. Scotty Prince can just poke this through the middle.
It looks okay. Oh, put down the glasses. It's perfect. It is perfect. It's a 2-point ball game.
And this man is the man that's dragged them back into it. I know the score tries have been scored out wide, but Big Sam Thaiday has started this second half full of intent. A couple of his charges have been really good through the middle of the field, and he's really trying to lift his teammates. You know, he's been handed the captaincy here at the Broncos. There's a big difference between captaincy and leadership, and I'm just starting to see some signs of leadership in this man.
Anderson,
Tackle 1.
a willing performance to bring it back. Now short away to Glenn.
Tackle 2.
28 out from his own line. And these plays continue in and around the ruck. Simple football.
Melbourne ball there. Kenji. Hold.
The Storm capitalising. And played by Hoffman. Smith across. Cronk, short. Harris taken and put away by Glenn. 11 on 11. Smith again. Keep wrapping it right. And Cronk looking to go deeper, and he gets it to Chambers. Bromwich goes back into the field of play, replacing Varvey. They go to the middle, do the Storm. Wiles to Hinchcliffe. And Hinchcliffe is 9 out. So Widdop to the left, but they come back to the forward. Bromwich, and Bromwich held upright a couple of metres out from the line. 5 gone, long ball to Cronk. They've got Miranda isolated. Oh, brilliant take by him. Lachlan Miranda. We have to contend. We're going out to the 20. Indicating that the ball was marked on the full in goal. But he was brilliant in the air.
Yeah, just saying he came from the in goal to get this, Miranda, and he did. Good call there by the referee. Darren Lockyer, the new captain at the Broncos, Sam Friday. How's he feeling in, do you think?
Well, he's leading with his actions, Gus, and I think the Broncos in the off-season spent a lot of time and energy around their leadership group, and obviously in particular with Sammy. And words is one thing as a captain. Actions is the most important thing.
Darren, audible for all of that. We might come back to you in just a moment. We'll just stay with this. This is a penalty to Brisbane, and this is the tackle and coming back off the player. He's come around and used the player as a lever as he came back on.
Okay, David Stagg being taken from the field here. Gee whiz, talk about momentum shift. Broncos with a penalty 42 metres out. No thought of trying to level up with a kick for goal. Here they come, the home side. It's going on here, baby.
You better believe it, baby. 20 plays AD. Glenn taking it inside 20. Harris and Hinchcliffe making the tackle. Hunt to Hammond. Plenty of H's about there. 10 metres out from the line. Corey Parker. Held by Riles. They'll put him on the ground where they want to. But once they lifted that leg, the referee called held. And Hunt goes back and Prince goes short, and it's Gillette with the ball. So Matt Gillette. 4 out. Hunt to Hammond, and he'll play the ball just out from the goal line.
Let him play. Stay on the line. Stay on the line.
Hammond slow to rise, and Hunt puts a little kick in, and it's grounded in goal by Junior Sal.
Nice. Really nice. Really nice. Prophetic words there from Darren Lockyer. Leaders do more with their actions than their words. Sam Thaiday now topping the tackle count with 25, topping the run count for his team. The Broncos surges on in earnest here. Still a long way to go, 28.5 minutes, only 2 the difference. Wonderful, wonderful comeback.
Stay inside here, Storm.
So the drop out to the halfway line, marked by Norman, and Hammond takes it back, and you can see Hinchcliffe leave the ground to make the tackle, and the collision was big. Hunt then to Parker, and Parker met by Cronk and Harris. Hunt again, now Friday drifting away to Prince, and then a ball goes over to Norman. Did well to get control of it, and this is the centre Kahu, 10 away from the line. Miranda for Prince, Prince for Gillette. Ooh, what are you doing with it there, Matt? You almost lost it. Play the ball now. Momentum went with that juggle. Here is Wallace. Then he goes out to the top end of the ball. Here's Reid. Here's Hoffman. Did he get 3? Did he get 3? He thinks he did. His teammates believe so. Referee consults touch judge. So what's Dedsit's going to say?
We have a try.
Yes, Dedsitch thinks it's a try.
All right, he thinks it's a try. Now we're going to go upstairs and get correct weight. Storm coming at the corner post. Broncos trying to squeeze in their 3rd try for this man up in the air. Ball on the ground. Oh.
What do you mean, no?
Was there a bobble?
What are you thinking? He mightn't have grounded it?
Well, he's going to give it straight away by the look of it.
try. Third try for Hoffman. Well, Josh Hoffman has gone from 18 tries in his young career out to 21 in the space of something like 50 minutes here tonight. It was a forlorn-looking scoreboard for Brisbane. Hoffman had given them one, but Melbourne retaliated, and now Hoffman's given them two more, and they are in front.
Well, Scott Prince has now kicked 3 from 3 from the sideline, this very same point. One in the first half up the other end, and 2 from this exact blade of grass. Once, twice, thrice. Can he do it a fourth time?
Francis Raleigh. That's Shakespeare, I'm not quite sure. No, doesn't it? Here it is, Prince. He's bringing it back. No, it's wide. So, once, twice, but not thrice. Darren Lockyer.
I mean, on screen grabs, Corey Norman, he's been a bit of talk around town at the moment, speculated about him playing fullback, and this is the reason why. Because of that 5'8" skill, he can these ball handling skills just allows him to read the play a lot better. And that's the reason why Hoffman's on the wing. He's a great runner, but Norman can sum up this situation a lot better with the ball at hand.
With us on the 9 commentary team. And here's Ben Hannett. Somebody was telling me it was Walter Raleigh, not Francis Raleigh. You're quite right, it was Francis Drake. Anyway, when you start dabbling in things I don't know what we're talking about, Serge, you're right. Here's Parker.
Is that old movies again?
No. I'm talking about English history. Come on. Get with it. Now here's Gillette. What do you think I am, a taxi driver? Now Hannett again, driven into the ground by Harris. Oh God, there's some H's about here, aren't there? Harris, Hannett, Hunt, and here's the kick through. Pressure for Slater, bounces off him, and Wallace had a chance, but it's a penalty. Inside the 10.
Ben, that was you, mate. Ben.
It's inside the 10. Stay out of it. And Cameron Smith will find the line.
Yeah, the far player just in front of him, and the one nearest on the inside.
Wait for the tap.
Melbourne Storm now find themselves behind on the scoreboard. Incredibly, after totally dominating the first half. 20-6 half-time lead. 17 minutes gone in the second half, they trail.
There's Bromwich. And it's gone away from Harris. Bromwich did well to get it away, and so did Harris, actually.
Wait here.
There was an urgency to keep it alive. They knew that involved a lot of defenders in the middle of the ground. Harris.
Wait.
Goes behind Hoffman. He picks up his 5'8" with a 28 out from the line. And Slater got a ball around. Hoffman gave it on to Cronk, who had to hurry a kick. It's coming down to Hoffman. What happened there with Jack Reed and Duffy? Was an obstruction? Yes.
Jack Reed.
On Jack Reed.
Penalties against Jack Reed.
He ran about 10 or 15 metres straight sideways to get in the road of the man chasing the football.
Yeah, Duffy did a good job of selling it. I mean, I don't think the collision was all that much, but Duffy, bit of an Academy Award act there, the way he went down. There's no doubt that Reed got in his way.
Brian Norrie.
Tackle one, Sam.
Tackle by Hunt and Fide. For Smith, and he goes back to Bromwich. Now the question mark is on the 19 Proctor.
Okay.
And Sam Fide is on
Yeah, Maxwell doesn't like it. The Cox referee doesn't like it at all.
We have tackle 2.
He'll say no try here.
We have no try.
They're going to go with obstruction. They're going to say that a player was taken out here to create a gap for Proctor, the big fella, to get to the in goal. Maxwell didn't like it at all. Let's have a look here. Bang. Well, everything we've seen in the last few weeks, this will be no try.
So no try, it will be a penalty. And 40,000 people here. And obviously very much a partisan crowd applauding that decision from the video referee. So what we've seen made it almost a certainty to be thrown out. Yvonne, an injury update.
Yeah, it took 2 men to carry David Stagg up the tunnel. He's back on the sideline now. He won't be back for the rest of tonight. He's got possible ligament damage to his left knee and he'll head off for scans.
Okay, for Payne away there, an injury update from the sideline. And here is Norman with the ball. Right in the middle of the ground. Played to Hunt. And he kicks early. And it bounces for Slater. Turf down there looks a little bit dampish. Some divots went flying as Slater plays the ball.
See, I like that play. Kicking before.
Here's the ball loose, Gus, and a chance if they can spread. No, it's a penalty. Back to you.
Well, that's bad luck. I like the play of kicking early against the Melbourne Storm to isolate Billy Slater on his own at the back. If you wait till tackle 4 or 5, the wingers are back there with him. He's got someone to link up with or to dummy to take the pressure off. If you kick on tackle 2 or 3 and he's back there on his own, he's not a big man, Billy Slater. You can monster him and ragdoll him a little bit and put some pressure on him. And they got the ball back, but unfortunately, so he's down here on his own. Broncos coming down, there's no one to link up with. It's 4-5 against 1, bang, crash, wallop, belt him into the turf.
So this is Bromwich.
Help. On 1. There we go. Good, Sam.
Now Harris. He's a willing worker, this fellow. Tahir Harris, the second rower. Here's Slater, linking in. Ball goes to Chambers and Reed hitches a ride, just grabs a bit of jumper, gets dragged along the turf. Proctor, big shoulder on him. And he'll play the ball just outside the 20-metre line to his captain. And now the Cronk looks inside. Setu is out there now. And Thaiday makes the tackle on Cronk. And Smith dummies left and comes right for Slater. And Wallace rakes it in and he forces the ball. So line drop out, we'll see Melbourne come back. Trailing by 2.
Smart play there by Cameron Smith. Now he realises that Cooper Cronk is playing the ball on tackle 5. Does he want to trust the 5th tackle option to someone else other than Cooper Cronk? He decides no, throws the dummy, goes himself, Grubber kicks it into the in goal. That's Cronk playing the ball. Does he go to Widdop? No, he says, I'll handle this. Back, rolls it towards the in goal. They make the tackle. They'll get the ball back from the line dropout. That is a champion play.
Okay, what's his head?
Line drop out. He's got a lot of depth about it, and Norrie carts it back. Runs into Parker and Hannant. 30 out. And up the middle goes Setu. Longy Setu.
Is both going on?
And now away from Widdop. It's found Hoffman. And Hoffman taken down in the conventional tackle by Gillette. Back for Widdop. Now for Bromwich. And Bromwich is in the middle of the park. And the effort goes in defence from Hannant and Parker. But Melbourne looming dangerously. And Cronk goes long. Chambers flick passes. Duffy throws the ball. Infield speculator. Here's Proctor. And he's taken down just inside the 20-metre line. It's 5 tackles gone for Melbourne. Can Brisbane hold them out? The kick from Cronk. It goes down for Slater. Slater, magnificent! Billy Slater, I think, has got this try. Straight to the
Cooper Cronk, he knew exactly where his key chaser was. Not too far too wide, just high enough for Billy to get there. Cronk to Slater again.
Aided and abetted, of course, by the accuracy of the kick. Really a wingman and a half who can fly. Well, that was just breathtaking. Yes, Cronk is probably one of the most accurate of all kickers that we've seen in the game. And that provides Billy Slater with a wonderful springboard, but he in the air is incredible, and Smith is able to convert. So Melbourne go back to the front wall.
Well, if you need any pawpaws plucked from the high tree next door, this is the man to call, Billy Slater. Boy, he can get up into the air. Absolutely fantastic, but it's his timing, the way he's able to work with his teammates, that's absolutely first class. Got himself in wonderful position. You can see him out there on the 20-metre line now, putting his hand up in the air, showing exactly where he wants to go. He jumps well and truly early, comes down between two defenders, very determined Broncos defenders as well. What a champion this man is.
So 4 points to margin now in favour of Melbourne. Slater played the ball. Setu.
Is that a Queensland thing, pinching pawpaws from the neighbours over the fence?
I've seen other people do it. It wasn't me.
There's nothing better than a piece of stolen fruit. I know exactly what he's alluding to. Cameron Smith playing the ball. Now for Cronk, and he kicks it high down to Norman. And Norman has got Chambers and Proctor hanging around him. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, boys, while we're talking about Billy Slater, that was his 144th try in the NRL, which puts him in the top 10 of all time. Just overtook Steve Renouf, the pearl from the Broncos. So, look, how many more years has this guy got to go? And how many tries, what more tries are he going to get? It's just a joy to watch.
And when somebody is a joy to watch, according to Darren Lockyer, then he must be a joy to watch. Gee, that was heavy, that impact there. The two 15s come together. Dunamis Louis and Lockie Setu. This ball bouncing back and awkwardly for Slater. He's got Fanua with him. And that is Fanua.
Get square.
Turning them around. Sow.
Third tackle.
Gee, they're built stockily. The two blokes over on the far left, Melbourne. Sow and Fanua. Tree trunks. And a problem there, as you saw. And here goes Setu, and he gets it away to Proctor. Proctor's got Duffy with him. Duffy tries to give it to Chambers. He does. Back to Duffy. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Try for Melbourne. But
Simo,
what's he want to do now?
5. We have a try. Can you take the touchline?
It is checking whether or not Will Chambers put his foot on the line before throwing this back in field. Some wonderful play back up the field. We'll have a look at it in a moment. Here's Chambers. No, he's fine there. He's released the ball before he goes over the sideline. Duffy gets a little bit of a shock here. He actually catches it and juggles it and gets Spelter from behind, but is able to get the ball down. That's a wonderful try by the Melbourne Storm. And watch the unselfishness here of Cooper Cronk. Watch Cooper Cronk. Cooper Cronk puts a left foot step on Wallace to get into the open, but realises he's got faster players to the edge and doesn't take it all the way. Watch Cooper Cronk on this play. Left foot step, bang. He's got open space in front of him. He says, no, look, I've got to give it straight away to give my outside men time to do their stuff. Some really nice work here out on the edges. Duffy straight away to Chambers. Chambers back in field. Lovely Melbourne Storm try. Had Cooper Cronk run any further than he did, that try might not have been scored.
Yeah, it was a great ball carrier. Funny, you've got to give a rap to the Broncos cover defence as well. There were 4 of them coming across. 3 made the last-ditch attempt. Fortunately, the ball was tipped back inside, but you've got to take your hat off to that. They're really having a dig this evening, the Broncos, against the best competition team in the league so far.
Smith then from the sideline. Breathtaking stuff. I can't quite work out why the referee didn't have faith in his touch judge there. The touch judge indicated to him that it was okay, and he still investigated. So here's Smith. He's online this time. Converted try. Spectacular stuff by Melbourne, adding to the spectacular stuff that we've seen from this champion number 1 tonight, Billy Slater.
Well, at one stage of the first half, we had no game at all. The Storm were running away with it. The Broncos extremely courageous to come back and get to the front. They're down by 10 again. Do they believe that they can do something in the last 12 minutes is the key here. Can they get us a game again?
This is Bromwich. So now it's Setter's turn. VB Friday Night Football. Live and exclusive on 9. And Hoffman. And around the legs, Louis. Friday has worked himself tirelessly in the second half. Norrie. Cronk. And Parker's tackle. It might be inquired, I don't know. Ball comes down and it's with Melbourne, and now it's with Brisbane. Moranta's got the ball. So the tackle from Parker on Cronk was okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was. It was very, very awkward. Not in Corey Parker's nature to do anything malicious to anyone, but he certainly fell awkwardly at Cronk. He was lucky to avoid injury.
Ben Hannon. Peter Wallace. Now Corey Norman is bear hugged by Chambers. Penrith versus the Titans at Centrebet Stadium in Penrith. 3 o'clock kickoff, 4 o'clock replay on 9. And Duffy. Back on his own line. Like Fanua. It is a little rat tail hanging out the back there.
Just trying to coast a little bit here, the Melbourne Storm. 10-point buffer. Just trying to grind slowly to the finish line. Broncos need one last surge.
Shedu. 5 tackles gone on the 40-metre line, their own 40, so Cronk kicks from inside that line. But it doesn't go the distance that he wanted it to. And Norman has little trouble in bringing it back to his own 40-metre line. So Cronk just had to hurry that kick. Kahu. Moranta. McCulloch is back. And here is Wallace. Oh, the referee said no disadvantage. Even though Louis provided an obstruction. And here's Parker going back on the inside for Norman. 28 away from the Melbourne line. Five tackles gone as Wallace. He floats the ball over there, deep into the corner. The big men go up. Down it comes to Kahu. And he goes to ground, and then they pick him up and throw him down again. Big
set of 6 coming up now. This is the Broncos' real chance.
Louis. Hammond winding it up, taking it to the line, passing to Wallace. Wallace, Norman. Norman, Glenn. Glenn's over. And the crowd goes up. Alex Glenn scores for Brisbane to give them another sniff at victory.
Yeah, well, you got the feeling they wouldn't lay down, and you had the feeling we would get a grandstand finish after what we've seen so far. The Brisbane fans rise for their team, and they know with 8 minutes left on the clock, they're still in the ball game. Wonderful hands there. Corey Norman, catch and pass. Alex Glenn surges to the corner. The Broncos are right back in this.
Once again, Melbourne's right side defence, fragile. Making a decision to sprint in. Matt Duffy off the wing to try and chop things off. He was given the choice again, perhaps. He'd simply move across, try and wait for a little bit of assistance in defence, but you've got to congratulate Brisbane's attack. They've been struggling for a little while now, with Melbourne regaining a bit of confidence, but I think the injection of Corey Norman from fullback on a couple of occasions has really provided some spark for them.
Now, from the same blade of grass, Scott Pence, let me tell you how important this kick is. All right, because what's the margin at the moment? 6. He's got to kick this to take the field goal out of the equation. If it's a 6-point game, Melbourne can walk down, take a field goal and extend it to 7. If he kicks it, the field goal's no good to the Melbourne Storm. So it's really an important kick here on the mentality of the Melbourne Storm if he can take the field goal out of the equation.
6 3/4 minutes remaining. From the T-bar at the 20. That's way out in front of the uprights. So he was unable to answer Gus. He was unable to take the field goal out of the equation. 32 plays 26.
And Gus, they haven't got a bad man in the field goal area, have they? The Storm, Cooper Cronk, he's got a bit of a record here.
Well, you'd imagine if they get the ball anywhere at the Broncos' end of the field, they'll come in and take that 1-pointer to put it beyond doubt. And Brisbane have got to score twice to win, not just the once. But strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. This game deserved a finish just like this.
11 tries in the game. Wallace had to hurry at the last moment to take that on the first bounce.
First tackle, Ryan.
Hammond.
Waiting down.
Yvonne, another Painaway update for an injury there.
Second tackle.
Yeah, Brisbane's hat-trick hero Josh Hoffman has damaged his right calf muscle. He won't be back either for tonight. He's off to join David Stagg in the Broncos casualty ward.
Ready now. Waiting.
It's an unfortunate ending for him tonight, needless to say. As it comes from McCulloch and goes across the back of the ruck, and Wallace fends away from Widdop. And eventually is tackled by Hinchcliffe and Smith. The Broncos are on the halfway line. And Prince it is. He thought he saw a gap, but he ran right into Proctor. And Big Proctor monstered him. And changeover.
Well, that's a big turnover right there, because there is now no doubt by tackle 4 or 5, the Melbourne Storm should be within field goal distance. Cooper Cronk screaming at his teammates now. I'd imagine the call's gone out to work him in position.
Hinchcliffe, the second to the 40-metre line. Now Hoffman almost to 30. Third tackle down. Smith comes across and they go out to Cronk and then out to Slater. Slater will be flung to the ground just outside the 20-metre line. Proctor finds himself a dummy half. Cronk for Harris now. And there's 5. So if they are going for drop goal, they've left it to the last, and they're not. They put a little kick in. It's awkward. Duffy went up and batted it down. Wallace got it. Knocked it back. Brisbane ball. Not backwards. It's a good call from Jared Maxwell. So this is the second tackle. Played by Norman.
I'm very surprised the Storm didn't get themselves in better field position for that. They had a chance, and then on tackle 4, movement right away from the posts.
Side A.
Listen to the crowd.
Pucker now to halfway. Met by Proctor and Cronk. This is the last for Brisbane. They can't get the count wrong again. And Prince gets his kick in, but the ball has travelled forward. So they have bombed it.
2 sets in a row.
2 in a row. They've failed to get to a 5th tackle kick. Been caught on the last. Once Prince was tackled, and this time a forward pass. Good pressure here from the Melbourne Storm on the inside.
Time back on.
3 minutes left on the clock.
Varve has gone back out there for Melbourne, taking the place of Bromwich, and this is him. And a cutting tackle down low by Corey Parker. Carries Melbourne, though, inside the 40-metre line with their captain. You wouldn't think they'd let another opportunity go, providing they can get it within the scope of Cooper Cronk. Here's Harris. Now they're inside 30, and that's the 4th. Will they go early? Hinchcliffe wedges it, drives it, bounces away, and then will be made to play the ball. He's 10 metres out.
Get him back, get him back.
And Cronk is way, way back here. Here he goes, and it's charged down. So they'll get some more. Slater's with the ball. Beats one, comes to another, gets the ball away. It's come down to Brisbane.
Well, I'm sure Slater didn't know it was 6 again. The referee had ruled 6 again for the charge down. And all Slater had to do was hang on to possession there. I'm sure he didn't see the signal.
So we've got a minute and a half to go. And played by Parker. Oh, Farday loses it. And it's just gone fractionally forward, according to the ref.
Oh, dear.
And that should see Melbourne get home.
Back here, boys. Back here. Back here.
Well, what a terrible moment to end the game on. One of the game's best players in Sam Thaiday comes up with a fumble at a crucial stage. And the Melbourne Storm should be able to close it out. When the scrum packs, we'll have only a minute left on the clock.
Come on.
And Melbourne will have to do something outlandishly stupid to give the Broncos an opportunity with the ball. Been a great game.
I don't think they'll do it 3 sets in a row, Gus.
No, it's been a great game. Thoroughly enjoyable. Big crowd, 2 good teams, some great tries.
Let his leg go.
And a cliffhanger finish.
11 tries in all. Chambers goes away to the middle of the ground.
Let him go, Andrew.
30 metres out, 45 seconds out. And he plays it for Cameron Smith. And this is Harris bulldogging his way down to the 20-metre line.
He's a good boy.
He is a good player. Now the 19 is Proctor.
And Paul, let him go, Ben.
Harvey through one, looks back, can't get it away in time. 15 seconds, the last tackle, and Cronk puts it in. Reed will shadow it. It goes dead, and Brisbane will bring it out.
Well done, Jack Reed.
For the tap. Take it when you're ready to call. He kicks on the first, obviously, as the siren sounds in the background. Fanua goes back, he'll run over that touchline. And that is ball game. Melbourne win 32-26 with 6 tries to 5, and Slater got 3 of them for Melbourne, as Hoffman did for Brisbane.